Hello, everybody. I think I finally, for the first time ever, didn't screw that up. There was no gaps. There was no looking at our faces. It actually
Yeah,
worked. Who knew?
yeah. Once in a while, I get it right.
Yeah, yeah. Like a
Not
broken clock
often.
is correct. Twice a day. Yeah, basically. So yeah.
True
Hey,
that.
hi, everybody. What do we got? We got 4 people out there. So I know we got Flint out there. We got 1993, and we got me and you. So all
So we got
four of us.
all four of us,
We
including
almost have a
us.
gaming group.
We do have a gaming group. You can roll with this. I'll roll with
Yep,
it.
yep. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I was feeding my face. I had some pretzels here, man. That was good. I was munching and muting as I was munching there. But welcome to the show, everybody. What is our 5th or 6th in a row? We haven't missed any. We're doing good. I mean, we're kicking ass. We're consistent.
Yeah, so far. Surprising, because that is definitely not a strength of mine.
No, I know. It's working out well, though. It's working out well. What the hell else we got to do on a Monday night, if you think about it? It's the perfect night to do this shit, right?
Well, that's when we used to, I think that's when we used to run. I used to run my game on there. So on Monday nights. So we were pretty consistent then too, I think.
Yep. Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. And even with the one-on-one we did, that was a Monday night thing. I remember there was a Tuesday game and your Monday game, right? Matt and whoever was running the game of the week ended up doing it on Tuesdays. And then we had the Monday thing. Yeah. Funny how it changes, Like back when we were kids and younger kids, college or post-college, you could play on a Thursday night and not have to think about it and get drunk and this and that. Now, if I played on Thursday night and got ripped and I had to go to work on Friday, it'd be like calling out half the time.
Right. Yeah.
No work.
I guess so. Yeah.
So anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We are doing part 3 of 3 tonight. So the first, we're doing an adventure, an OSR badass masterpiece adventure, and we're doing part 3. The first part was the scope of it, figuring out ideas, and we, detailed the hook. Last week we did the Hexcrawl aspect of it, and today we're going to do the final boss fight kind of stuff, right? The wave and all that kind of shit.
But Joe has like blown that all up. We're gonna have to have the discussion about that.
Yeah, I have high aspirations for this. I want this to be the OSR's Lost Mines of Phandelver. This is what I want.
Stopped at ass, and the aspirations have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, this is great. This is great shit, man. Plus, it's the back end way to get your shit finally published, your setting and everything else.
Yeah. Trust me, I saw what you're doing. Wasn't that slick.
Yeah. Well, it's coming. It's coming. God damn it. So. Yeah,
all right, Joe, why don't you start with your cool thing of the week?
Cool thing of the week is if my brother's listening, stop listening for like 5 minutes because I'm going to talk about what the adventure is that we're running.
Now he's paying attention super.
I know.
He's going to just focus in on that.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll cheat. You better not, motherfucker. But what I'm doing is last couple of weeks, I've been wanting to run Raji's, first big ass masterpiece, right?
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Death Frost Doom. Mm-hmm. And so I like it. It's one of the few Raji adventures that, I mean, it ends the way it ends, and don't say how it ends, or it might end the way it ends. Depends on what they do, quite literally, right?
Which version are you gonna run?
I'm running the 10th anniversary one that Zach edited and all that. And I like it. I
don't know that one.
Yeah, it's more detail. You know what I mean? It's less bare bones, and I like that. That whole aspect of it. But I pick it and choose it, and I'm making, of course, fit what's going on. But I've been wanting to run this thing forever. And so I finally found an opportunity where it made sense within my world. I can't just run a one-shot nonsensical, where did this come from and why is it here adventure? It has to make sense within my world. And this is one of Raji's few adventures that aren't a total party fuck over. You know what I mean? It's a potential world fuck.
I was going to say, did you read that adventure? I think
it can fuck this world situation up, which is interesting to me, right? But it's not like, oh, walk over here. It's not Tomb of Horrors. It's not like, and you're going to die or go insane afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It has some fun shit, right? So I like the potential for fun shit, and let's see how they do or not get out of it. But the point is, the last couple of games I've been running it, they had the approach and all that last session, and then yesterday we played. Ended up playing on Sunday because of schedules and shit instead of our normal Saturday night, and we ended up getting through the cabin part and into the first couple rooms downstairs, and they're scared to death, and I love it. They're just like shitting their pants, giving them these weird things to do. And they're like, I'm not touching that. Who's going to open the door? Nobody else open. There's no red shirts, so, so it's like they want to go forward, and there's a good reason to go forward within the setting. They're highly motivated. They need to go forward and, figure it out. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I am
Right.
enjoying. Well, number one, I'm enjoying the fact that as we all expect that, oh, this is going to take 4 or 5 hours. I could knock it out in one shot, but no, it's already 2 sessions in, and we haven't even gotten to more than a couple of rooms in the dungeon, right? Figured,
Right.
so it was gonna. I like the fact that it's a little less game prep for me as a DM, which is the great thing about modules, right?
Sure.
And I like the fact that I'm scaring the shit out of them with it. So it's really I'm doing it justice. I'm trying to make it as creepy as I can. One thing Zach did in the module, I think it was Zach who did this. He says, go entering this room, play this heavy metal song on YouTube for them or something, or some
Right.
metal. And it's like, all right, and it does add to the mood. It really does. It keeps them out a little bit. All those little touches, I think, do pretty well. So yeah, that's my cool thing. So we'll be playing probably at the rate they're going at least 2 more sessions. We'll see how it goes.
2 more sessions.
Yeah, and maybe 1 if they bang it out and get lucky.
Sure.
But yeah, maybe 2 more sessions. So it's kind of nice. So. Yeah. So that's mine. What is yours?
Cool. Well, I think it was on Saturday. I go to this one gaming store that's about 45 minutes away from me. And it's pretty decent in some ways because it's mainly a 5e store, but it's really a Warhammer comic book store. But they have a section sometimes of used stuff, which is my gold mine. That's where I go to.
Yeah.
I want to see what the used stuff is. And it's hit or miss. Sometimes they drive 45 minutes and they got nothing. And that. But lately they seem to they have a little bit more of a selection. They had a lot of Star Frontiers things this time, which
the Pathfinder, they're the new one, or wasn't there a new Star Frontiers? What did Pathfinder put out?
Paizo. They put out Starfinder.
Oh, okay. Different thing then.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is like the 1980s Star Frontier, the actual adventures. And I thought about getting those, but I'm just, as much as it would be cool to read through them, I just didn't want to spend the money on that.
Yeah.
And then they had a copy of the monochrome Tomb of Horrors, which I really thought about getting. But it was $50. I mean, I already have my copy of it still. It's still has the ancient masking tape kind of holding it together.
Yep.
From where
the rusty staple. You got the rusty staple going on too.
Some of those. Yeah, because I have all that. So, but I didn't. But I did find this, and this I don't know.
Whoa! Oh, nice, dude.
Land, or anything. This is what back in the 80s or whatever. I think. Bard Games. I got this for $20. I thought that was a pretty good price, and it's in really good condition. At least
I can tell by the cover; it looks good. It looks like somebody didn't piss on it.
No, and there's no like Rob pizza stains from 1984 on it. Looks clean. I didn't see any writing into it. But the thing I forgot about this one too. This is the what is it? This is the Naturalist Guide. So it's a monster manual basically. And I found an artifact in it, but it's unfortunately just an old crappy
blank index card.
Yeah. I was hoping. I was like, artifact.
I love that stuff. I always keep it in there, and I keep it in the same place.
Yeah, that's even though it's blank, I'm keeping it in the same spot. I don't, but it's got some interesting. It's got some interesting takes, some information on some different monsters, and some of the same one, some classic ones, only that they kind of maybe have renamed them a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just kind of looking. I must be in the dragons section in there. You got like a little demon section too. They've got like a pyro demon, a sand demon, a sea demon, swamp demon, wind demon.
Wow.
So basically, if frost and night. So they have that. Then they have, I don't know. Then the artwork's nice too. It's got like.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely not some of the half-ass products. It's actually a really nice one. They're taking their time to do a good layout with it, and beautiful work on the artwork. Let me see into the artwork here.
I like black and white artwork more and more. I mean, I know that people. You want the cover of Dragon magazine to be a hot chick in chainmail bikini, of course, but you want something like that. But for the interior of a book, maybe a center page or the cover color, but the rest of it, I'm fine with black and white. You get a lot out of it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what I'm going for, and that. But yeah, definitely black and white, or like a nice grayscale artwork
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
good. Looks like the cover art here, which is actually really nice details there.
Yeah, it is.
Love that. It was drawn by PD Breeding Black.
What the hell? Sounds like a
Uh,
band.
yeah, yeah. And then it looks like I don't know if interior graphics is the artwork. Patty Sechi or something like that. I don't
Was there
see.
any initials next to each individual picture inside of it, or?
Um, oh, it looks like in PD Breeding Black is on. It's like PDBB. They're all PD. So one person drew all this interior. That's a lot of artwork.
That's pretty cool, actually, because I mean, first of all, that's great credit. Second of all, you know that this one person that did all of it has their particular
Style.
stamp, right?
I
Their whole, yeah,
absolutely
you know,
that's one thing um I'm not a real big fan of sometimes is the mixing of different art styles in a because if you're trying to build a cohesive
yeah,
product
uh-huh,
and then you have artwork, you can find different artists that artwork complements each other, but I see it a lot of times where I see people's artworks that are very drastically different or at different levels. Because if you say you have PD Breeding Black doing a piece and then
hmm,
it's next to one of mine,
yeah.
it's gonna like, who let this fourth grader in here? Why
How
why is he drawing
do
stick
you
figures?
how do you spell the name?
PD Breeding Black.
PDING space or hyphen or
PD is like initialed in the front,
yeah,
and then breeding as in breeding, and
yeah.
then black as in black.
Okay, interesting. I'm doing a quick Google search because I'm like I've never heard of them at all.
I haven't either. I mean, I've never been much of a, I think it's called Talislantia,
Yeah,
Talislantia
yeah.
person, but I do have a few of their books. I actually have Ken gave me, I don't know which version it is, but it's a door stopper book. I mean, it's big. And I think it was from a Kickstarter, maybe, but I went
Hmm.
through the different editions that they had on their homepage, and it wasn't included in there. So I don't know
Yeah.
where it falls in there. It's like a dark blue cover. It's super nice, but I think I broke it open once when I got it, and it's
Huh.
unfortunately been kind of just collecting dust since then. I
Yeah.
only buy old stuff with pizza stains. Well, what you'll want to do, Flint, is see Rob right above you there. Rob's stuff has always got interesting stains all through it. It's usually food stains.
Well,
I can't for all of them, but
like the rest of us, though, he has probably certain stains in the Monster Manual succubus page, but the different kinds. There we go.
there we
Here's
go.
PD Breeding Black,
Oh,
the
there we
first
go.
artist to work on Talislanta, instrumental creating the look and feel of the milieu. When I first
Mm.
saw her, the PD stands for Patricia or Pat, by the way, artwork in the
Oh,
game.
okay. So it's a female artist.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, yeah. I knew, oh, look, diversity and representation. Who knew that we actually had that 30, 40 years ago, right? And knew right away that her style would be perfect for this strange little game world I've been working on. We flew up to Connecticut from Illinois, and the two of us spent the next 3 days working on design sketches, hashing out details of the flora and fauna, getting to know each other. PD
Oh
created,
yeah. That you go ahead, Joe. I just
yeah,
forgot about that part in the back. They have a section in the Monster Man that's dedicated to fauna. I love
really?
it. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it's got all the small section in the back. I love it because I love that kind of stuff because that's
Yeah.
just, you know how I like screwing you not only with
Oh, yeah.
monsters but with
Yeah.
plant life too.
Anything, dirt,
Anything,
rocks, anything,
pretty much.
just air.
Anything that makes you feel safe or
Mm-hmm,
inconspicuous. Yeah,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it's just an assassin waiting behind a flower petal.
It looks like PD often appears at fantasy and sci-fi conventions around the country selling prints of her paintings. So,
Oh,
yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's good to
That's
know. I
pretty
didn't
neat.
know that.
Did not either. Now you know. I like it's definitely an old school feel to that stuff. The whole style of that. That's really pretty good.
Rob can keep that monster book. The pages.
Exactly. Yep. Many monster manuals have been
Yeah.
abused by that. But yeah. Hey, how you doing on any new subs, dude? And is this helping you or is it hurting you? Hanging around with me.
Hanging around with you. Now you're the one with like you're what 211 now?
2112.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
2112.
I
Getting there.
I didn't check, so I have no idea. I think last week I was at 73. So
Did you
I don't know. I'm not on my page. I'm actually on your page monitoring this because that's where everybody talks. Nobody talks on mine. So
yeah. No, that's we have the chat here, so we'll get them both here. So
yeah.
No, this is good. This is good. And we're on for Friday. By the way, guys, Eric is going to be out of town at a convention, so he asked me to sort of host it or run it. So I'm going to be giving administrator privileges on his site. I will be hosting and running the show. There will be a pirate flag raised on Friday night here, boys and girls. We will take over Eric's show and then live stream it everywhere. So it should be a good time. It should be a good time. Tune in then.
Well, we know Rob will be there, but I don't know if I'm going to be there or not.
Really?
See. Yeah, I'm always hit and miss on Fridays.
Yeah.
I was there the last 2 times. I don't think I've ever been there 3 times in a row.
Yeah, true. Well, we don't do a lot of things 3 times in a row at our age, so we're just it's just the way it is, you know.
Unfortunately, that is the case.
Anywho, guys, on that note, let's get on to the main event.
All right.
Main event. This is part 3.
I asked Joe.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Here he goes. All right. Ding, ding, ding. Round 1. All right. So Joe was going to, I thought he was going to do some random encounters.
I was going to start filling in the gaps because we wrote some stuff, right? We took some notes.
Fill in some gaps.
And I only I only had like maybe 2.5 hours to gap fill the other day. So I sat down and I got about 1,200 words out, and it kind of fills in most of the gaps for the first part. You meet the dude and you get the mission. So we got about 1,200 words. For that.
Let me see. Find this here.
It's pretty good though. It came out pretty good, I think. You know, I got a little bit of Kojak's personality in there, a little bit of flair. You know. Yeah.
Well, here's what we got, guys. Let me. Whoops. I'll do with there. So this is what. So Joe gives me. He tells me I wrote 1,200 words, which instantly terrifies me, knowing Joe. Because I know that's probably his introduction.
Yeah.
First thing I noticed, nothing in there about the random encounters.
Oh no, we're gonna get there. You know, we're filling in the blanks.
The next thing I notice is I'm reading. So it's 3 pages long. It's 1,200 words, and about 600 to 800 words are all about his PC, about how he looks, how he acts.
Yeah, he's giving you the intro to you got to know if the DM's going to play the guy. The DM's going to play Kojak well. He has to know about
playing Kojak. They're going to have their own person.
No, it's Kojak. You get this from Hound's Head. This is why we're including Hound's Head material in here. You're getting the whole kit and caboodle, guys.
Wait a minute, Ivy's adding in. What's that?
What?
Am I crushing Joe's dream? I think so.
Yes. Stepping on my nuts. You stepping on my nuts, Ivy.
Yeah.
Put Jersey on his ass. Fellow Jerseyan.
So let's see. And then there's really nothing that you wrote is about the adventure that we didn't already. You just took we had a paragraph and made it 3 pages.
Yeah, and I fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to Joe, the DM. When someone tries to do any background in your game, you assassinate them.
Well, that's a character background. The DM needs to have the proper background to run this thing properly. And you got to know what the town is all about. You got to know some of the inhabitants. You got to know.
Don't.
If they want to run it here. That's the whole purpose of it.
Nobody's going to run it in there. They're going to use this. They're going to take the Komor Forest and say, well, I have my own forest nearby. I'll just rename it that. I got a village I can throw it in. I'll throw it in that. They're not going to, or they might just throw the idea of Hound's Head in there because actuality, it's Hound's Head itself is just, it doesn't need to be a concrete thing. It just needs to be a construct.
Oh God, no. Oh God. And here, no. That's so wrong. That's like Dungeons Without Toilets. That's so wrong in so many ways. See, all right. I think that what we're gonna have to do, because we did promise them a free adventure, right?
We did.
So
an adventure, not
adventure.
a sandbox hexbox crawl.
Yeah. I mean, I got a whole lot of like that kind of shit now in my head from doing Rob's editing on his 100-page deal. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Oh man, Flint, don't encourage him.
Yeah. I like background bullet points. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Flint.
Well, there's no bullet points in yours.
Well, there will be. I don't know how to edit. I don't know. I could type. That's why I did it all in Word. I opened up your Publisher program, and I'm like, I don't understand this. So I just went to Word and started typing, basically.
Okay.
And I figured I'm just going to give you a Word document that you could lay out into this. So I think that what it's going to come down to, based on your observations and quite utterly, honestly, whining a whole lot here, what I think it's going to come down to is. You're going to get your free adventure, right? And it's going to be the bare bones, ghetto style adventure that Tim is talking about. Ghetto style.
Very usable, interesting, layered adventure. You won't have to slog through who was the king 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, well, you don't need to know that, but who was around in Scorn and the Demon and all this is irrelevant, maybe, if they want to run things. But then I think that what we should do is, and I'm just going to keep going, I think, because I'm going to roll. Is do the whole, what did you call it, a mini campaign or mini setting or something like that?
Yeah, you know what I mean? What you're writing is this would be like the beginning of a excuse me, like a sandbox mini campaign setting, sandbox type thing.
Exactly.
Kind of like what I did already for Hunters in Death. I mean, that's what you kind of want to recreate.
Yeah. But with center it in Hound's Head with everything that's happened in your campaign thus far. You know what I mean? Just it's basically going to give Tim's little mini region a couple of the towns, details on that. You get into the way his brain works. It's scary. I got a warning for you. I'll have to put like a NC-17 on there. But it's NC. That's kind of scary. But it'll be like a nice little tiny mini sandbox with an adventure. So you could get the ghetto adventure for free, and then you could put the other one up there as just pay what you want or a few bucks or whatever. At least it makes you some money.
Listen to you.
It can't be that hard, because once I get the big one,
that can't be hard. Okay,
it can't be that hard. I mean, I just bang it out. I could kill shit, man. I could give me a few hours, give me a solid chunk of time when the cooking's done, the laundry's done, and I get a 3-hour block, and I'm like, bam, I can knock out 1,000, 1,200 words.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you just share the link to your products on Drive-Thru RPG?
This is going to be my first. It's going to be in your name under your publishing company, but this is good practice for me. This is my I'm popping my cherry a little bit. I
don't want to be the person that does
in your bed. Yeah, so that's really what it comes down
to. Where's that X card? I got it.
There will be no X cards in this adventure.
You've already soiled that too.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. No.
There's a mysterious stain on the X card.
You know what I was thinking too, man? We're going to give these NPCs, the player characters have, pre-gens or whatever, have a handful of pre-gens there. Mm-hmm. You already have the perfect pre-gen format with your NPC cards. You just hand them out. That's ideal. All you got to do is plug it in. It's already laid out. You know what I mean? Drop text in and find some pictures,
Right.
And then and also you get the side benefit of having the next 6 NPC cards done for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're ahead of the game on that one.
So what did you want to what are we working on tonight?
Tonight is the getting to the lair and also that little dungeon up there, right? We wanted to figure out. You said you had a little map for that dungeon, right?
Did I? I can't remember.
You had something. Now. Yeah, a little something. But it doesn't matter. I mean,
wait, no, where did I didn't put it in here.
It was a little ruin.
It was the little ruin. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find it. I think I had one, but now I can't remember. Hell, if I can remember it now.
It's rough getting old. I'm telling you.
It does. It sucks. All right.
So as we're thinking about this, we've sketched out last time, guys, the some of the main threats, right? So that's what I'm going to be flushing out here.
You're going to be fleshing it out.
Flushing it all out there.
So what are we doing? Are we just doing like a cavern, or are we doing like a dungeon, or what? I can't remember.
Well, I think it was just like it was an old monastery. Remember, there was a few rooms, and you had a little tunnel behind it, or something like that, and those tunnels would lead down. That was kind of what it looked like. I don't know where the map was that you used.
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could remember what the hell map it
was.
I remember us talking about it.
Yep, and it was the temple to Greg's god, the Husher, Puce. the great Husher. You know, so
that's right.
Speaking of which, I'm going to need all the gods of your world, Sim, and some of this stuff.
I know. You're going to need to know where all the toilets are at.
I got to do it. Yeah, I know. Dude, this could be your next Kickstarter, man. You know, the adventure's written.
Yeah, well, I got to finish the one.
That's motivation. That's motivation. This one will be done before you put it out there. Everything, art, all that bullshit will be done.
Is that the one
No. It had some ruins, like a couple rooms. It was like the bottom floor of a couple rooms, and then it had
the bottom floor of a couple rooms. Okay,
and then it had some tunnels. It had some ratty looking tunnels coming off of them. You know, it reminded me of the bottom of the moat house. Those kinds of tunnels.
Bottom of the moat house. Okay,
you know where the ghoul tunnels were. It had that kind of a look to it. You know. Yeah.
I wish I would have added it to the
that's all right.
Thing.
All that we really needed to know was who was there and what were they doing, right? And so we knew it was an ogre mage, right? We knew that was going to be a thing, and he got driven out of the tunnels by the mind flayer.
Was it that one, Joe?
Yeah, that was it. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep.
All right, so we'll just put this to the side for right now.
Yep. No, that's it.
Because we're just going to add that. So we're going to actually have a mini dungeon for the that in there. So
yep.
All right.
Spinning it around, nice. Look at that.
Well, I didn't know. I just put it to the side so he'd have more room there.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
All right. Yeah, I drew that one a while ago. I do like that one. That's one of my favorite ones I drew. Yeah. Okay, so we got the blood. We know where everything's going to go. Why don't we do a quick? What's that?
What? I didn't say
none. Let's. I guess we should probably do the layer. We're doing. Wait, the layer is the. What is the dungeon? That's the ogre.
The ogre magi was the dungeon. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep, the lair was just a farmhouse that, we have to kill them in there. The webs are tarantulas, correct. A mysterious feature, the Grimlocks. Yep. And the dungeon was the ogre mage, the old monastery of Puce, and he wants his place back. So here is where you can maybe, meet up with him, get maybe some allies, or at least, some intel, or maybe safe passage or something like that.
Where's that at, Joe? You said
that was the dungeon where the ogre mage is. So scrolling up to the on the page that you're looking at, Tim, scroll up to the
dungeon up there.
Yeah.
Because down here is where the layers where the Etton's got the
little girl and all that stuff. Yep, with the farmers.
So what's this one? So the one I have here, that's what the
lair. That's the Etton. The lair is the Etton.
Oh, that's
what you're looking at. Yeah, what you're looking at there is a dungeon.
That's not the dungeon.
No, that map is for the dungeon, which is north of the Mind Flayer lair.
Okay, so that isn't the this is the
no, correct. Yes. Okay. I misspoke. Right. Yeah. Yep. So
all right, so let's do, because the lair I believe was just going to be the barn outside of.
All it was a little farmhouse and a barn. That's all the lair was going to be. Quick and easy map,
Quick and easy map. Listen to you. When you hand draw them, there's no such thing as quick and easy. And unfortunately,
I figure you'd have something laying around somewhere you could use.
I could. This might work.
What's that? Oh, you got something coming up?
I don't know if that'll work or not.
All right. Yeah, dude, that's perfect, man. Yes, that's perfect.
So where would I think the walls would be more busted down, but we could we could say this. is the back is
Yep.
the house.
The house.
And that could be the barn up here.
Yep. And we got the outhouse. So we already got the toilet. So that part of it is
got the
done.
outhouse over here. Sure. Yeah.
Yep. And a little chicken coop
over here.
Yeah. Little chicken coop on the left there. Perfect.
Stuff. So yeah, that could be where all the dead farm animals were moved to, or whatever. The poor hungry.
Perfect.
Let them around there. All right. So I guess let's do the layer first, and we'll move this down to an empty thing. We'll slide this into over here.
Okay.
All right. So you tell me, do you want to number this, or do you want to label it? How you want to do this? You tell me.
I mean, why don't we number it and just relate, like 1 farmhouse, 2 barn, 3 outhouse, 4 chicken coop.
Well, no, I mean on the map. Are we? I'm just talking about like just laying out the map. Or am I just putting barn, outhouse, house?
Yeah.
Just write it out then on top of it.
Yep, right. That works.
Let's see if I'm just gonna grab, because I'm gonna try to keep it the same kind of style as it is on the other maps. So we'll just bring that into here, and we'll just put. I'm going to put family house, and I can just put it right over it. It's a little tough to read, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, dark, like full, not empty. I don't know what the hell that means.
Yeah, it's harder to read doing that too. But what I can do is I'll change the text. Maybe, I don't know if this will work or not. We'll give it a shot. Effects glow. Is that what I want? Glow of options. Nope, wrong one. I always forget which one's which. I think it's this one. Shape effects.
Yeah, it's all Greek to me. This is all publisher you're doing, right?
It is publisher, but that's not working. That's not what I want either. All right. Maybe I can do it like this.
What if it wasn't outline words? What if it was just plain dark letters?
So you want to just, okay, we can try that. Whoops. So we go to just dark, and then we'll get rid of the glow. That's why sometimes it's hard to find the glow option on here, because it hides on me sometimes. Yeah, like it's supposed to be right there, but it's not there. So I go to there, special effects, glow options. All right, what we're gonna have to do, because I think what's happened is it's not taken, while I've taken it from the other place, it's not capturing any of the that's all.
It's a shit. I can't even read it though. It's the font is fucked.
Right. Well, it's not the font. It's because I have the blur around it, because I have
okay.
So let's see here. I'm just gonna need to do a whole new thing then.
Yeah.
Which is no big deal. All right.
We're down to 3. Me, you, and Flint.
Family. Yeah, I know. I think we were up to 4 at one point.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Family house. And see how it blends in even more.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well. Yeah, we could label that later, I guess.
You know what I mean? we can. What we'll do for now is we'll just change the thing so it's fucking red.
Yeah.
That'll stick out.
Oh, Rob is here. Flint and Rob.
No, Flint and Rob are still. Well, Flint might be gone then. Let's see. Copy. Oh, no, I cut it. COM. But we'll just label them till now, and I'll fix these later.
Yeah.
And then we'll put the barn over here.
Why with the lowercase? Why are you doing even the head of the title of the adventure had lowercase?
I don't know. It's just a style thing I chose for this time.
Yeah.
We can change it anytime you want.
Yeah, I'm just
Sometimes I
curious.
just, it's no real reason other than I just started doing it,
Yeah,
and I just kept, I don't know.
I like how that flows. Sometimes
What's that?
I like how it flows. And sometimes go with it. Let's see what happens. I don't know
Yeah,
why I did it. It was a typo mistake, but I'm gonna leave it and see what happens.
right, exactly.
You know,
So, barn. What? So, what did you want that lower? This
how
one
about
you
how
want?
about a chicken coop or something?
Okay, you want a chicken coop? We have a dove coat there.
A what?
The dove coat.
What the hell's that?
It's basically a chicken coop for doves.
Oh, really?
That's what those. That's what that circular thing is down there. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
that
I had
was
no idea.
because doves are. Yeah, they used to have dove coats, and you
Okay.
could keep a lot more doves in a single. Like they look like little mini silos.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of thing with lots of different ones. So dove coat, and then what did you want that last one to be?
Chicken coop or outhouse or pigsty. I don't know. Like what is the
Well,
stuff between the outhouse and the barn? What is that circular thing? A
you,
pigsty?
where are you talking about?
I
This
can't point at it.
this
No,
thing?
above,
This
up,
thing?
up. Well, that thing and the other thing. Yeah, those two.
Those are trees.
Oh, that's a tree.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pool of mud with pigs in it. Okay.
No, there's
All right.
no, just my shitty trees.
All right. Okay.
So is this going to play into any, like, let's see, what should we see? What do you want to make that? Just like a
Shed.
shed. That's works. Shed. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Everything. The other things, if they come, I don't think we have to worry about them becoming too important
Okay.
there. And that, and what I'll do is I'll just group them together. So in case I bump the freaking map, which I will,
Yeah.
they'll stay together. All right, let's get a. Here. All right. So what are we doing for? So what are the people? I'm going to put like approaching like the. Actually, no. Ooh, that's really big.
Actually, people could read it though. It's actually good.
Yeah.
Are we going to detail the lair now?
No,
or are we going to detail the dungeon, the final dungeon, and the Minotaur? I'm sorry, the Mind Flayer lair.
Okay. Well, you're the one who wanted to do the lair, didn't you?
I meant the final boss lair. I call that.
Do the final boss.
Yeah.
Oh.
I call that the main lair. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I was getting confused with
Yeah,
when we were talking about the lair. Okay.
Yeah. My bad.
All right.
So, the Untitled lair.
The Untitled lair. All right. So we'll insert page.
And we could fuck with the ogre mage off camera. That little place on the right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's going to be simple. It's going to be basically an ogre mage with a connection. His dungeon is going to connect to Matt's dungeon, which you redrew there. I think you just deleted it.
No, I just changed the page. It's right up here.
Oh, okay.
You can see on the left-hand side the different pages with different details on it and stuff.
Okay,
so.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so we'll have to insert a text box here then too. I do a lot of text box drawings.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand all this.
It's just adding an element to the page. It's like adding artwork. You just add a page element, and it's just a thing. Okay, so the Untitled lair. All right, so why don't we just go into it? And so number one, what's number one going to be?
All right. Number one is probably the way that the people will get in. Right. Let me pull up that map. Is there any way to pull up the map on the right so that as we're writing about it, they will see what area we're writing instead of that dungeon?
Let me see here. Yeah, I can actually.
And then just do a split screen, the dungeon on the right and our writing on the left, and that way people can see what it is we're talking about.
I can't share two screens at the same time if that's what you're asking.
No, but if you scroll up, I was able to see that dungeon on the
right.
When
I scrolled up. Yeah, let me try something here, Joe. I might be able to get it. Just do the two. There you go.
Yeah. Bingo. That's perfect. Perfect. Okay, so then number one is the entrance where you most likely would come in because you see the thing, that little hidden cavern, hidden entrance above 4, between 4 and 12.
Hmm.
It basically would lead outside, but I look at that as maybe a secret, concealed, hidden entrance, right?
Hmm.
And so the Grimlocks came running up number one, hiked up to 4, and went up to 12, 13, 17, right, to bring their thing to the main dude.
Okay.
Okay. And then in number 3, that is where basically this is like the Maginot Line, right? Number 4 and number 3 are where the Grimlocks and what the
Right.
hell, the other guys,
Norkers.
Norkers, right? Norker.
Yep.
Yep. Where sort of had their face off, right? So the Grimlocks came running in with Blake. They hiked up the 4 and then hauled ass. They might have taken some arrows from the Norkers, but whatever, right? And
Right.
so number 1 is a fast moving stream, right? With that waterfall coming up behind it. Now, this waterfall, is this from an Underdark river, or was it from an outside river that sort of slit through the caverns here? What do you think?
An Underdark river.
Yeah, some rivers are fully in the Underdark and they come out of a mountain, and you might have Underdark level creatures that could be slithering in it.
Well, we
Whereas,
already have an Underdark creature in here, so we could,
yeah,
you know, do that. I
mhm,
guess. Whatever you. This is, you run with it. What do you want to do?
okay. You know what? Here's the other thought I had actually too.
Hmm.
If you look at this map, right, you see number 11 is the area that the Norkers come up and down, and they hit it. They
11.
up
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Yeah.
So that is the area that leads to the dungeon, right? Now
Right.
scroll down a little bit past 6, right?
And then we
So
got 7.
that number 7, okay,
Hmm.
that number 7 would be a way for the Norkers to leave, or goes to the Greater Underdark or something like that. But
Hmm.
what I was thinking the other day was, okay, well, where did the Mind Flayer come in from? Okay,
Hmm.
that's either going to be number 7, or it's going to be the thing that we just talked about as being an escape to the land outside. All right,
The
between
number
4 and
one.
no, between 4 and 12.
Oh, right. Right. Okay.
Because in other words, the Mind Flayer invaded this place and kicked the Ogre Mage out, right? Did the
Hmm.
Mind Flayer come in 7, and therefore that is an escape, through 4 and 12, or did the Mind Flayer come in that little route there? So that's really the question. That's sort of like the first question, because that determines what that route is. I'm thinking he blasted into 7, hiked across the water, maybe,
Okay.
right? And then he set up shop up there and just said, "All right, whatever you guys." He psionic blasted everybody who was in his way and just moved up into that area above. That sort
Right.
of makes some sense to me.
Okay.
So that would leave that as a special escape route, because I like the idea of a special escape route to the outside, a getaway route or something that's hidden.
What we can do, let's do this real quick then, Joe.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like you're plotting, the entirety there. So let's number these out,
Okay.
and then we can write notes next to each,
Mhm.
one which you
Okay.
want to. So that way, because in half an hour, we're not going to remember what the hell you said.
Yeah.
Well, how many do we have here?
17, 18, looks like.
Yeah, 18. Okay.
Can you put a 19, Tim, and put it on the escape route?
I can.
Okay.
Let's see.
So 19, secret escape route to the outside. Call it that, since you're on
Secret
that line.
escape.
Right now.
Okay. Secret escape to the outside.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And then what was 7 going to be? That was going to be to the
7
Underdark?
to the Underdark. Yep. 7 to the Underdark. Right.
Okay.
11 is to the dungeon with the ogre magi.
Magi dungeon. Okay.
Let's see. 10 is that below 11? Is that 10? Is there a way to make it wider, Tim, while still holding it, or no?
What do you mean by still holding?
While still seeing the whole picture? Is there any way to make it?
No, that's the biggest it gets
Okay.
without losing something. I mean, I guess I could scroll in just to.
There you
Like a
go.
little
That
bit
helps.
more.
Yeah, that helps a bit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because we're good. So you could even scroll down because we don't need 11 anymore. There you go. Boom. Perfect.
True.
Perfect. All right. So number 10. What
Yeah.
would be here? What makes sense? All right. It's a little pool of water. All right. Now the route from 10 going south, that is over the water, right? The water is below them, but they don't see it. They're in a cave above water. Correct. Same thing with 14 to 8.
Let me see here. So you said, say that one more time, Joe.
The route between 14 and 8, right?
14 and 8. Mm-hmm.
That does not cross water. That is above water, right?
That is above water. Yeah.
And the same thing with 10 going south from 10. That is above water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. How about then what is number 10? And number 10, the water does not connect to the other water. So there'd be no
No.
connection between what the environment there. How about good old fashioned fucking mushrooms? You know?
So you want 10 to be mushrooms? What kind of
Yes.
mushrooms?
Edible mushrooms. Maybe they're growing them here.
Okay. Edible. I don't know how you spell edible.
ADID, close enough. Yeah.
That's why.
Diable. There you go. All right. So edible, close enough.
Editable. Yeah.
Editable mushrooms.
Yeah.
Editable map. All right. So we got 10 is the edible mushrooms. So that means the water where the mushrooms grow and all that stuff. We have found the Norker's shitter. All right. Norker's also take a dump here.
Where's the shitter?
The water, number 10. You got to, mushrooms grow in shit, right? So they go up and shit and piss up there. Norker's shitter. All right. Now, what is number 9? Number 9 is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know what the hell it is, though. You know what I mean? Like, what could it be? What could it be?
So I'll tell you what it actually is.
Yeah.
That is a mistake that I made when I was drawing Matt's dungeon.
All right.
But instead of redrawing the whole thing, I just decided to make it a feature.
Okay. All right. So what is it? So are they holes down, it looks like? Are they holes into the ceiling? I mean, what are we looking at here?
I don't know. You tell me. You interpret them. What do you think?
How about bottomless pit? It kind of appeals to me.
Bottomless pit.
Yeah.
I believe Rob was running somebody through what was it? Barrow Maze, and Rob read the description of the dungeon, and it had a bottomless pit in it. And the one guy asked, "Bottomless pit? Really?"
Yeah, bottomless pit.
Okay.
That sounds like something Josh would say. That's Josh's tone, isn't it?
That's exactly who it was. Yeah.
I guess exactly his tone. Bottomless pit. Now, what comes out of this thing every once in a while? I mean, it's nothing is bottomless, right? But by bottomless, I mean if it's 300 feet down, nobody has 6 ropes they can tie together, right? And it's slippery, it's not enough handholds or whatever like that, right?
Levitation and fly, though.
Levitation and fly could get you there. So if they did go down it, right, it would need to be something that when it came up wouldn't eat Norkers. In other words, they wouldn't be at war with it, right? Another symbiotic relationship of sorts, right? So what could possibly come up out of here that would not kill Norkers, and that they could say, all right, we have some level of symbiotic relationship that we're here together. We at least, even if we're not helping each other, at least we're not killing each other. And here's why. Right. So that's the situation. So any input there from the audience, Flint, Rob, anybody else who's still there?
There's only 3 watching.
Yeah, me, you, and Rob, who's doing something else.
Well, let's just kind of take a glance into the Shadow Dark monsters. Let's see.
All right. Okay. All right. Cool.
So we're going to look more. I don't know. We're probably looking at something that flies, I would imagine.
Yep.
Or we could make something completely up.
Yeah.
So,
so something that flies that wouldn't eat Norkers.
Well, let's see here.
What if? Why would it come up? Does it need water sometimes? How about some level of fungi or slime? It's an intelligent fungi, maybe Cthulhu-y style, something like that. Something that might have a life cycle.
something that might have a life cycle.
A life cycle that they would come up at a certain stage in their life cycle, right? Every X amount of months it comes up for whatever the hell.
Okay.
Snails.
Snails.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm thinking snails, but maybe snails kind of slither up here.
Okay. So, okay. What kind of snails is this?
I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out. I have no fucking idea. I'm just like, maybe it's maybe it's like turtles come in from the sea, and they
lay their eggs.
Lay their eggs in the sand, and they leave, and the eggs are like, okay, now hatch yourselves, assholes.
Well, what about this, Joe? I mean, I don't know if this. Well, instead of having like a turtle, why don't we have like the Norker mother come up from out of there? Or something. I don't know.
Okay.
And a Norker
nest.
Yeah. Or I don't know.
But why would the Norkers be more allegiance to the Ogre Magi than a Norker mother who's below? Because
Norkers. Here we go. I think I got an idea.
Okay.
I'm grabbing it from the Land of the Lost.
All right.
So remember the Sleestak god? It was in that pit that was all foggy and stuff like that. Maybe that's where they throw their sacrifices. They have some sort of primal thing, throw things down in there, and underneath there, you've got like the sulfuric smell or whatever, and the smoke, and you can't see it, and all you hear down there.
Okay.
But nobody knows what the hell it is.
Okay. And they know that if they don't do it X amount of times or whatever the hell, they will get, this thing will come up and eat them.
Sure.
Okay.
So all right. Just put the Norker god, and I'm just going to put in parentheses like Sleestak.
yeah. Sacrificial pit or something.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Little pits. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Good. All right. Now what?
All right, so 6. I'm just moving down. All right, number 6 is where the Norkers would mostly be living, right?
Okay.
Because they have to have people on 8 and 3 and 5, right? So they would live in 6 and 5, and people in 8 and 3 are on the front lines of this fight. All right, so this is their main living cavern.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, 5 could be 6 are where the valuable stores are going to be, right?
That's where the valuable stores, okay.
Yeah, and 5 is probably a sleeping area, right? Kind of looks like a dude laying on his side anyway, with 2 feet and an arm, doesn't it?
Yeah, now that you say that.
Yeah.
The Norkers sleep. Whoops.
Yeah, so 5 is where they sleep, and they also would sleep in 6 as well.
And then those like little eyelash looking things down there.
Where? Yeah.
Those are like different levels of plateaus, like little shelves, cavern shelves.
Right.
So
okay.
It would make sense because then they could sleep up on they wouldn't be ground level. They would be sleeping up on the shelves.
And archers too, to shoot down in case they break through from 4 to 3 and get into 6.
Yeah.
All right. So 5 is sleeping, 6 is sleeping. 3 and 8 are like the trenches in World War I, right? You have barricades and Norkers with whatever missile weapons Norkers have.
So they have barricades, constantly patrolled.
Yeah. And so the barricades at 3 would be exactly where the number 3 is,
trench.
Right?
So I'm going to just think trench warfare.
Exactly.
And then, is that what we're doing in 8 too, you said?
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because there's only 2 ways that the mind flayers, people can attack the Norkers. It's through jumping across the river from 4 to 3, right? And that's more difficult. Or they could go from 14 to 8, right? So and if you're going to use a bottleneck, all right, if you want to have a bottleneck, you don't want to have it on a wide area. So the Norkers would have their Maginot Line, whatever, for number 8, their trench would be at the narrowest part.
Sure.
Right. So just maybe an inch above the 8,
Sure.
All right. So, and then, all right. So that leads us, we already know number 1 is, the fast rushing stream, blah, blah, blah. You might find some bodies in there, maybe, broken arrows or a weapon or something like that. Maybe
Grimlock.
Grimlock, skeletons, and
Hmm.
Oh, with the flesh chewed off, Tim. Piranha, baby, piranha.
Okay.
That'll give them a clue,
Okay.
So
Give
there's
me a clue.
a slight chance of piranha for number one. X
Oh, like
percent
a
that the
weatherman. A
characters.
slight chance of piranha.
Slight chance of piranha. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right.
So number 2 is the waterfall.
Is it? You have a 2? Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the waterfall.
Is there going to be anything special about the waterfall?
I don't know. Do you want to have something behind it? A little cave behind a waterfall? Like, I love it. It's become such a trope. I kind of almost have to have it all the time. Do you want something like that there?
We'll put a small cavern behind it.
Okay.
What do you want to? What do you want to put in that little small cavern?
I don't know. What would be there? What could have been there in the past?
For some reason, I'm just thinking of, okay. Let me see if I can find it. It's gonna be a statue, like my creepy statues.
Yep. Some Cthulhu statue or something, or some old
something like it, but a little bit different. It's gonna be more human-esque, but it's gonna be very. You know what some of the creepier costumes are? They're not Cthulhu. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Freddy Krueger. The creepiest ones I think that are out there that creep people out the most, the ones that are just a plain face. Like there's it just creeps people out, because they can't read anything. But there's a certain type of Slavic god. Slavic. Huh. She's kind of associated with Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I kind of like that whole Baba Yaga thing. Now you throw it out there. Huh.
Let's see here. There, Morana.
Okay.
So what she is the Slavic god of death.
Of course she is.
Yeah. So today's popular culture. Oh, so many freaking pop-ups. So she's derived from an ancient Slavic demonology. However, the concept of Slavic mythology features a mystery. I'm trying to find the cool little statuesques that they make of her. And if I can just give me one. You talk, Joe.
Yeah. So I'll think out loud for some of the other rooms. So just get some ideas out there. So 14 is the main area, and 12 would be the main areas where the Grimlocks probably, stage their men, right? Because you want something like that, where they have the counter forces against the Norkers. Now, 15 is interesting because it's lower than 14. What I'm thinking about 15 is maybe supplies, right? Because it's kind of hard to get at, right? So maybe you got some gear, some supplies, food preparation, something along those lines, because you don't want these guys to go too far from 12 or 13, because 17 and 18 are going to be solidly this Mind Flayers area, right? So we need to separate it out. So 17 and 18, the Mind Flayer's brains, and 18 is the Mind Flayer's lair. 16 and 15 would be supplies and Grimlock sleeping areas. And 12 and 14 would be the Grimlock fighting areas. I think we kind of got the rest of it then. 13 would just be a common junction point. Yeah. All right, that works. Did you find the god?
Yeah, I'm saving it, and then I'll bring it up on here so you can kind of see what it'll look like. It's not a good picture, but you can kind of get the gist of what I'm thinking.
Okay. All right.
It's just a plain, we can make it a stone statue, or what? Maybe not make it stone. Let's make it a little bit something different instead of just plain old stone.
How about valuable jade? Something the players like, oh, that's valuable, I want to keep it. But of course, it's the god of evil and death. So if you keep it, something bad happens to you. You know what I mean? In your possession more than 2 days, and
And it might, and I I'm thinking ahead here, but there might be some really the reason why the Norkers and the thing, because this is a goddess of death, so
Yeah.
they're just like killing each other over this creek or this stream
because this thing is there.
Yeah,
it causes dissension, it causes fighting, it causes animosity. Right. Nice. I like it. Welcome to the evil mind of Tim, boys and girls.
Behind has a statue.
Kind of looks like an evil dildo too, if you look at it from.
Yeah, the other one. There were some other ones that really look like dildos. Yeah, well, anytime you have a very narrow person, it's hard not to see that.
It's hard not to see that. No problem.
But like, see how she's got like. She's always pictured with like carrying something. Sometimes it's a basket. Okay. Sometimes it's a that looks kind of almost like a skull or something.
It does. It really does look like a skull.
So, a statue.
Delayed reaction. Delayed response.
What's that? Oh.
There you go.
We're gonna just have to do it ourselves.
Yeah. All right. All right. So we got female death goddess, and which is the cause of the fighting. You know what I mean, or something like that. The vibe that she puts out, cause of the fighting thing.
Okay.
All right. All right. So number 12, Tim is so all right, let's start with 4. 4 and 14 are going to be the same thing. 4 and 14 are the Grimlock's, staging area, basically.
Yeah, so
right?
barricades,
and all that.
Patrolled, think trench warfare.
Exactly.
Copy.
Copy that in 4 and 14. Yep.
Okay, Grimlocks. Is there going to be any difference between them though? Or is it just, or are they going to be like you said in World War I, where they're basically doing the same damn thing?
Yeah, barricades. I mean, so whatever they can use for barricades, I think.
Okay, is there going to be any difference between them though, or are they all going to be the same?
That's interesting. I think the Grimlocks,
because both of them are pretty, savage, dumb.
They are
kind of races. So I mean, I don't see them doing too much tactical work. They kind of hide behind there, and then eventually you're always going to have one Leroy Jenkins on one side to charge.
Exactly. You're gonna
eventually snaps.
Gonna Audie Murphy it or something. You know what I mean? And just haul ass across. So
right.
And so that's you see they're weak or something like that. Every once in a while, there's a mass assault from one side or the other where they get the advantage. Yeah, that sort of thing. But I would think it's the same sort of, the 14 and 4 are pretty much the same as 8 and 3.
Right.
The Grimlocks have access to outside, so they would have more wood, right? So 14 to 4 more wood, and 8 and 3 they have access to the Underdark and whatnot. They would have more stone, right?
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So barricades for the Grimlocks would be more wood. And I'll put that. So these guys will be more stone.
Yep.
And we got a lot of gods in here, don't we? We got the Norker god, and then we got the god behind that thing. We're just like throwing nasty little gods every. Of course, the Norker gods could just be some
slug.
It could just be a weird. All you have to do is make a weird noise, and it'll freak you out.
Yeah, really.
Be like, what the hell's that? All right, where was Norkers? That was stone, and the Grimlocks were wood. Okay.
All right.
Real primeval kind of warfare going on here.
Now, if the Norkers are lined up at 14 and 4, Tim, that means that 12, 16, and 15 are where the Grimlocks sleep.
All right. So 12 is what then?
12 is Grimlock sleeping living quarters, right? Along with 15 and 16.
Okay, quarters. All right, and then
same thing for 15 and 16.
copy. All right. Is there going to be any differences between those?
Maybe as we get into it. I mean,
Okay.
that'd be something to figure out, right? 15. How about maybe now if
Wait,
you're
did I
going
do it
for
right? Wait, no, not 16. Wait, no, 16
16.
something. Oh,
Yep.
16 is all the,
16,
oh,
16,
that's right.
12, and 15.
What's
Yep.
13 then?
13 is the main point of entry into the Mind Flayers region, right? Mind Flayers is the 17 is the library and 18 is where the Mind Flayer lives, right?
Entry into
So this will be heavily guarded with the most trusted and badass Grimlocks, right? You will not gain entry into the Mind Flayer's private sanctum, sort of a thing.
And then 18 is Mind Flayer living.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So we got a general thing for everything now.
Yep. Now it's a matter of filling in those blanks, essentially. That's, we'll fuck with that, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you want to go back to the dungeon map that you pulled up? We could fill in a few things on there. It was small, but we may probably get a few things.
Dungeon map. Which dungeon?
The lair you had as I'm sorry, not the lair. The dungeon map.
I know you keep messing me up. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me bring that one up. I gotta go find it again because I deleted it like a dumbass.
It's funny, at 9 o'clock we get more people every fucking time. It's like we got to start at 9. It seems like.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's a holiday kind of day.
That's true. A lot of people had it off. I had it
bank
off.
holiday, Ivy.
Yeah.
Fellows. So,
there it is.
So there we go. So why don't we? All right. Perfect. What do you want me to know? Number it then, Joe.
So we have the Norkers live in those shitty caverns, right? On the left.
Norkers live in the shitty caverns on the left, I guess. Yeah. So let me just bring this up and put. So we're doing. So are we starting? Oops. We starting off at the on the left hand side.
Yeah, might as well. Vault
Okay.
number 1 over there. Yeah, shitty caverns.
1. Okay, and then we'll go in the caverns. It's just 2. Oops. Nothing like watching a video with me numbering things.
Quite exciting.
It is exciting. Numbering like you've never seen before. And hope never to see again. All right.
It's interesting. It's interesting to watch how this shit works on Publisher. I don't know any of this stuff,
I don't think it's much different on different ones. I mean, I think there's definitely some common elements to everything, but oh god, keeps on giving me that stupid thing like that. Because like when I'm using Affinity, that's the one I eventually have to sit down and learn. I just never do.
I actually have Affinity Publisher. I bought it at some point.
Yeah, they came out. They came out with a different version of it. They got Affinity 2, and it's an amazingly good product, but I just haven't.
I have 1.10, so I have an old one.
It's still good. Even that version though is still pretty damn good.
Yeah. I could upgrade for 25% off. Look, it says.
Yeah, I mean, for the price of it, oh shit, it's amazingly good price.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 1. So the way to get down there from number, wow, that's pretty narrow. The 1 heading down and out of there to see that tunnel.
Right.
Is this a 5-foot square or 10-foot square?
We can make it whatever we want. We can make it 100-foot squares if we want to.
We should make it. Each square is 15 feet. In order for that tunnel leading,
each square is 15 feet. Well, what we can do too, Joe, is we can switch it out or whatever. What we could do is that's how the Norkers just get down there. They just file it, and it opens up, after. That's how they get there initially, but then it opens up, shortly after that becomes a regular tunnel. But the Norkers aren't big creatures anyway, so We can just keep it like 10-foot squares, and that'll still make it like
3 feet
3 feet
wide.
wide.
You have to
Yeah,
go shimmy along if you're a human or an ogre mage, basically.
right.
Shimmy to
Well,
the side.
and that's probably why the ogre mage doesn't go down there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he had to leave. He
Well, he
was
can
forced out.
polymorph too. What's that?
That's true. That's true. He could polymorph. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So any human who's coming through that tunnel, you're shimmying sideways, backpack off, armor off, in order to get through there. You
Right.
know what I mean? So that could be number one. That could be really the meat of number one, right?
Okay.
If we're
Let
talking
me. Well, yeah. So that's going to be. It's going to be what 3. Let me just get
3 feet, yeah, 2.5 feet wide. So no fat people allowed. You know,
no. All
no
right.
armor, no backpacks.
So, what is it? Narrow. Narrow passage along the stream or with the stream. Stream only 3 feet wide.
Take off armor, take off backpacks, and go sideways, essentially. You know,
Able to travel
with heavy armor, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Heavy armor.
Or packs.
Yeah, so you'll probably think of twice about going down there then, huh?
Yeah, yeah. All right, and Tim, why don't you move the number one to the actual pathway?
Yeah, I was just thinking that we might need to make that an additional number then, huh?
Or we could just put number 2 between number 1.
Yeah, that's true. We could just make number 2 with the stuff.
Yeah, pull it down 2 squares. Pull number 2 down 2 squares, and you got them both covered.
Yeah. So ungroup. Grab.
Yeah, there you go.
And then just pull this one down.
Pull that down 2 squares or so worth.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah. So number 2 is basically, that would be where the Norkers mainly live, right?
Okay.
And set up.
Choose the. Okay. Markers. Okay.
And then number 3 could be, I guess, more Norkers, really. I mean, Norkers maybe where they cook. How about that? Norkers. Do they cook? No. No. More Norkers. I mean, really, 2 and 3 are just Norker land. Right?
Okay.
Norkers.
Well, what would they use that space for? If you got them living in there, is there so many of them that they need 2 spaces, or what would you think?
Weapons. That's where they make the weapons that they bring the Norkers downstairs, because this is their only entrance to the outside world that they have, right? That is safe. So this is where they bring in their sticks and they make their javelins and their flint axes and all that stuff. So number 3 is a Norker weaponry and that kind of a thing.
Sure.
Right. And then
sounds good.
All right. So then number 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's where the ogre magi lives. Where is the exit, Tim? I don't see a door out of this place to get outside.
We would have to just say that there's a trap door in the ceiling, or we can just make one of these things into a door. That's something we can add into that, because this is actually, if you look at it, this whole thing would be underground anyways, because this is underground.
It's a basement. Yeah.
So we could just
trap
say
door in the ceiling.
See where that section that's caved in there? Yep. This right here, that could just be a caved in ceiling to a rune shrine to rune temple to Puce.
Oh, this is Puce's cellar. Okay.
Yeah, so we're in the quiet cellar.
Yes, the very quiet cellar.
So it would say caved in root ceiling. There's rune Puce temple above.
Okay. And now, because it's a temple of Puce, I would say all move silently chances are increased by 10% here. Just sort of a muffling effect. You know what I mean? In 5, 6.
I was thinking, maybe, because it's a Puce thing, maybe within this thing, spells work in here, though, if you can't say it. I can't remember how that works in Shadow Dark.
I don't know how shadow. We're making this for OSC though, right? So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said OSC. Right. Okay.
More universal.
It's more universal.
Yeah, than Shadow Dark. More people know OSC BX, I think,
Probably, yeah.
All right, so
what do you think? Okay, so we got a silence god. Maybe. Okay, what's 4 then? So
all right.
4.
Well, yeah, because what I'm thinking here would apply to 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? Because it's the domain of Puce, right? So, all right, so 4. So my first question is, where would the Ogre Magi be? He would probably be in 7, right? Because it has a door, right? He wants privacy.
Well, yeah.
All right, so 7.
Well, he could have privacies in 5 though too. He's got a door there, and then he'd have both rooms. He'd have that whole section to himself.
True. Okay, so 7 is the sleeping chambers. 5 is his war room, his plans, right? I mean,
Magi, sleeping chambers. All right, and then 5 is his. This is his war room.
Yeah, the war room. He's his plans. His
war room,
obsession.
1 word or 2?
I don't know. I think 2.
Okay, so I thought 1. All right, so who's he planning to attack?
Well, he's constantly planning on how to kill the Mind Flayer.
Okay.
Right? So that's his main goal in life. How do I get this motherfucker dead? Constantly looking for intel, looking for word of anybody who's, coming up the river, who went to the Mind Flayers, any enemies, things like that, right?
What's 6 going to be then?
6 would be supplies the Mind Flayer is storing up. Maybe the Mind Flayer has some human allies or some other.
Are you know what I mean? Ogre Magi?
I'm sorry. Oh, God damn it! I'm sorry. Yeah. So 6 is where the Ogre Magi would have. Maybe he has some allies. Maybe he has some NPCs that he's hired just recently.
So guest quarters.
Yeah, guest quarters. Some bunks.
Okay.
All right, and then 4, things that the ogre like number 3 would be the weaponry and shit like that for the Norkers, right? Maybe number 4 would be the assets that the Ogre Magi is collecting to go to war against these fuckers.
Okay.
Ogre Magi weaponry supplies, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Okay.
So I have to fill in the blanks there. So maybe he's, equipping the NPCs that he just hired, the red shirts in 6, with some of the stuff here.
Okay.
Traders, maybe, he purchased every raids, right? 6 could be some bandits that work for him. Boom. How about that? Okay. 6 bandits that work for the Ogre Magi and raid the lands around. And he helps them, and 4 is where they keep their shit, right?
Who does?
The Ogre Magi and the bandits keep their spoils in number 4.
Okay. Well, the Norkers would have direct access to it too, because there's
yeah. If they needed it, they could, but it would be the So there you go. That's good. So
do we get everything then? 7, 4,
bandits that work for the Ogre Magi. Yeah, I think so. That's pretty good. Now, what is the effect? We need like an overall asterisk after number 7, like being in the basement of the Temple of Puce. I'm going to contemplate this while taking a leak. I'll be right back, boys and girls. I got an hour and 20 minutes right having to take a leak.
I know you did pretty good today. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. I'll take a look. Let's just look at some of the spell effects of that. I don't think we'd be silenced all the way because you have the Ogre Mad, and then he's going to want to be in a place where he can cast spells. But let's just see if we can maybe get something that'll add some flavor to this section here. What would be good? Is awful effect. Adjacent. square.
All right, I am returned. Modifier effect. Here's some. Oh, nice. I like this. I go take a leak. I come back. You got shit done. This is good. I like this delegation of duties.
Yeah, because I was thinking, the muffled effect would be better because if we do a silent, then he wouldn't be able to cast any spells, and he's not going to. That's his.
No, yeah.
Huge advantage. So he's not going to want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Move silent, and then how much did you want to is increased?
10%, 15%.
Increase. Let's see. Give the 15%. All right.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so I guess the last one we should just do our quick thing is do the layer, the Etten layer real quick too.
Yes. Yep.
Let's do that one.
So it's a barn, right? We know that. So some details about it.
Let me get rid of this stuff here. Because all right. So the first thing is the barn. Oh, let me move this down so I can. Let me just put it in like kind of did with they disappeared. Some bitch. Fucking delete. Went away.
I don't know why it was so funny. The weed is worn off by now. I just don't know why it's so funny.
Yeah, because you're seeing me do my stuff, and I was like, what the hell happened? All right. So we'll just bring it down here so that way we can have the map on one side. And we can do this on the other side.
I think that works well.
Yeah. Let me add another text box. And then we can do the quick descriptions of these workouts. All right. So we have the barn, and that's going to be where the Etten
is.
Yep. Okay.
Is it going to be a one floor barn, or are you going to have those side floors that are right and left where the hay is stored, the hay loft?
The hay lofts.
Are we going to have?
What do you want?
I think we have to have hay lofts on the left and right in order to have enough room for the Etten to just be, right? The Etten is now in the middle. He's dragged all the hay off the hay lofts and he made a bed out of it, right? And he reached up, grabbed all the hay down, made a nice comfy bed for himself. And there's nothing up there in the hay lofts at all anymore. It's, no more hay at least.
Yeah. All right.
And so it has just double doors in one side. We have I would think why you wouldn't have two, right?
What's that?
So you wouldn't have two ways into the barn. It's like a barnstormer plane kind of barn where you fly through and come out the other end. Is it?
Well, it depends on you have the main doors. You have the barn doors.
To the south, right?
There would be to the right, but then to the south you'd have what they call a loft door, which would that's. I mean, I'm talking about modern farming where the bales would actually go up like a little thing up to the loft.
Okay.
But in this case, they would probably just have it below because then they just have the wagon and then they'd stand on the wagon and throw the sheaves up there. But they do use a loft window to get the ventilation because the last thing you want is your no ventilation in there because then shit starts getting really hot and suffocating and hay, if it gets a little bit wet, will just combust.
I didn't know that.
Fire. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The more tight, like any type of like really compacted organic material, if you like hay or even mulch, if it gets wet, it just heats up inside. It'll start smoking and it'll catch on fire.
Dude, that's some Unabomber level shit there, man. I didn't know that. That's interesting knowledge.
Yeah, I mean that's some Amish Unabomber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, probably has a winch and a rope. Yep, no doubt.
So there's a winch and a rope. All right. So then if there's a winch and a rope, there is the PC's way in. If the PCs use the winch and the rope to get to the hayloft, they could shoot down upon the ogre or the Etten rather. You know what I mean?
Well, the Etten probably can reach up there because remember it's like 14 freaking feet tall or whatever.
Yeah. But he'll be head and chest to that level, right?
Yeah.
Assuming it's 10 feet tall. So you're at the Etten's head and chest level. But if the Etten is sleeping, that's your approach. You go into there and you essentially start shooting him in the fucking gut while he sleeps, right?
Well, yeah, you get that first room in G1 where you had 2 sleeping hill giants.
Yeah.
And it would take first level characters, go kill the 2 sleeping hill giants and come out like third
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah. I remember we used to do shit like that. I remember doing that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. So, all right. So there's 2 haylofts on the left and the right. Etten isn't laying down and standing up in the middle of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the window you talked about.
Yeah,
what else would be in there? Some stalls below for cows and some draft horses that the Etten already ate, right?
Stalls.
So the bones, stalls for
well,
cows.
They don't have a horse. Stalls for a horse, pigs, and I guess one. Oh, well, let's do goats because goats. Goats.
Okay.
Goats. All
eaten. Bones around the Etten. Etten. All been Etten. Perfect.
All have been Etten.
I like it.
All right, let's go to the shed. So what's in the shed?
Right. Shed would have tools, right? I mean, I'm assuming there's a little plot of land out here, a farm area outside of this, right? So it would have farming tools, maybe the plow, right? The plow would be there.
Okay.
A cart, right? So for the the draft horses, they get back and forth, bring stuff from Hound's Head back and forth.
That would actually be in the barn, but yeah.
Would it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because you would keep it in there. So I'll put a broken cart.
Okay.
Yeah, because he sat on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Got his big ass cheeks imprinted on the bottom there. What do we got? Oh, treasure of some kind hidden in there. All right. What are you thinking, Flint? What do you think might be in there then?
Yeah, this is the family treasure.
Well, it would be the family treasure. It may be what the Etten brought in with them.
No, I think Flint's talking about what's in the shed. Maybe that's where they keep their treasure.
Oh, where that is under a board, etc. Yeah, we can do that. So the shed, okay, plow, tools, okay.
Flint, what would the family stash out here?
Family
treasure, what would their treasure be?
Hidden under a loose board. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Now, what would it be? Some silver? You're a silver-based campaign, so silver and copper.
Silver. But let's make it something more interesting than coins.
Yeah. An heirloom, a family heirloom.
Yeah, something like that, or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know why, but in my head, I'm thinking this guy is a secret drinker, and he stashes his keg out there of a little flask of something he hits once in a while after a hard day's work. His wife won't let him drink in the house, but he keeps his bottle out there. So he brings the plow in, puts the horses away. The wife knows when he goes to the shed for 10 minutes and comes out, he's going to be lit.
Is that in addition to the family treasure heirloom? Or
yeah, that would probably be his family treasure is the fucking jug, right? Okay. So I think that wouldn't be with the treasure, but I think that would be in the barn.
That would be in the barn?
Yeah, somewhere he like the father goes out, plows the field, comes in all sweaty, puts the fucking horses and animals away, does what he's got to do. It's nighttime. Before he goes into the house, he hits the jug. He has a no, not the loft, Tim. The shed housed the.
Oh, I thought you said the loft.
Yeah, no, in the shed.
Silver weapon. There we could do a
silver weapon. Yeah, that works.
We could do the hard silver there. We could give him
a
silver weapon. What kind of hard silver weapon would he have?
Well, something he wouldn't know how to use, but his father was in the war.
Right. What would make sense? What kind of weaponry are we talking?
Well, there'd be a shield emblazoned with something.
Okay. Wait, now we're doing the wait.
Yeah, shield and a weapon, right? So what would be left? The leather armor might have rotted away, but you still got Dad's shield and Dad's something.
So let's just put a military shield.
Military metal shield, that way it wouldn't rot, right? Covered in oiled cloth. And it keeps shiny and safe. And what would be emblazoned on it, Tim? Well, what within your setting? Who did he fight for? Did he fight for? Did he fight? Was he in Scorn? Was he one of those spears of Sarath guy? In which case, it'd be a silver spear, right?
Yeah, well, then the spear, would be so. So let's do that. Let's just make him because the thing is now that makes him Sarath, a worshiper of Sarath, or at least a thing, and that kind of maybe complicates things.
Yeah, that's even more fun.
Shield of Sarath, spears of Sarath, spear of Sarath, and hard silver spear.
And that's from his father or something,
Yeah.
And his
maybe that's why it's not in there, is because they don't. Not that we have to get too detailed on this, because
we're gonna get detailed.
I know you're
going there.
So who lives in the family house?
All right, family house. How about a journal, Tim? A journal of his father's travels with them, or whatever the hell. Might give some hooks or clues to some other future plots.
No, we're not going to write up a journal.
We don't have to write the journal.
Huh?
We don't have to write the journal. Just there's his father's journal and interesting stories from his tales, and it gives people a little bit of knowledge about what Sarath is. Maybe you know what I mean.
The leather armor rotted. Now the journal's going to be around. Father's journal of his travels into Komor Forest.
Yeah.
All right, so family. So we got the father, or is there going to be a mother?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, she's the one keeping his hooch out there, so you can't.
Yeah. That's why he has to.
Super. Did we put the stash of hooch anywhere yet? No, because
Whoa. All right. I mean, there's adventure groups that do things for heroism, and there's adventure groups that do things just because they are the greedy fucks, right? So we have the help kill the Etten, and that's the heroic group will of course do that. But the people who are like greedy fucks, why am I going to fucking fight an Etten for you, asshole? Right? Here is the hook, right? He has some coin that he will pay them, and in his father's journal, if his travels into the Komor Forest, his father had a treasure map. We will give you that treasure map, and there's your plot hook for the next time.
Treasure map. Okay. And what's the coin? How much coin?
I don't know. Well, he's not going to give all of it. So why don't we say a couple hundred silver, worth of coin?
Okay.
But he'll give some of it, right? And a treasure map. Yeah.
Okay. So father, mother.
Mother, and what's the little girl's name? Ivy, I think we said, wasn't it?
No, that's what you wanted to call it.
Yeah.
There was a daughter. We'll figure out, I guess, name.
Yeah.
How many kids are they going to have? Because if they're, if this is, are we going to just stick to a couple, or are we going to go full blown,
about two sons, a young daughter and two teenage sons.
Let me put young daughter. Whoops. Young daughter. Teenage sons. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. And then the dove coat.
I don't even know what that is. So that's on you. It's where you keep doves. That's all I know now.
Well, that's because the reason why I kind of keep the dove coat in there in a way is because that would be harder for the Etten to kind of do. I mean, he could bash it down, I suppose. Okay. Dove coat is bashed in, but so doves still live. Even the doves live in ruins.
It's a rough life, man.
It's a rough life, yeah. But that way they could still eat.
Yes. Speaking of eating, are any of these trees fruit trees at all? Apple, anything?
If you want them to be.
Throw an apple tree in. Why not?
Okay.
The big one's an apple tree.
Big tree. Okay. I'm not going to ask you what kind. Family's source of food. All right.
Good. Yep. Okay.
There.
I think we kind of caught it. Oh, outhouse. We have to, the outhouse is done.
Yeah. I don't think we're not hiding anything in the outhouse, right?
No. It would be a good place to hide cash, though, in a fucking beam or something, right? I mean, put a little bag of coins up there. Who the hell's
Well, you already got the
searching out?
200 silver pieces in the loose floorboard, so
maybe that's where she keeps her money. He'll never look there. He never cleans the fucking bathroom. He'll never know, right?
Let's see. Well, she could do it in the kitchen then. Now
that's true. We'll never get in there. Yeah.
So, all right.
What is that? What is the thing next to the left? What is the thing at 10 o'clock from the dovecote? What is that?
I don't remember, Joe. I do. That's where that was like a small like stall for, originally I think that was for the pigs or the things, because all that around that is like that, the dirt, the stippled area.
Okay.
That's like dirt. So it was like not a full barn type thing. It was just like a small place to keep the animals and that close by and whatnot.
Okay. All right, cool.
Could remember, yeah.
So we got the rough sketch. We got it all. That the only thing we haven't done yet is some of the juicy details of the mind flayer. Why don't we maybe spitball some ideas about his brain lair and what he's all about and all that kind of shit?
Okay. Let's just go to this page and we'll just put the mind flayer details.
We were running with some good ideas. Macintosh. Was there a daughter who feeds the Yetton? Yeah, there was. One of the young daughter feeds the Yetton, Flint.
Right.
Yep. He liked my map idea. Thank you, Flint. Flint's on my side today. I got to say, Flint.
I know.
You're the man. You're the man.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep it like concentrated on the adventure itself.
Oh, it will be eventually. We'll get there.
All right. So mind flare details. Okay, good.
All right. So we were talking last time about the mind flare, like that central room, that the library part, right? They bring him brains so he can eat, right? But some brains he doesn't want to eat. Some brains he just wants to have access to their memories. When a mind flayer eats brains, it nourishes him for a period of time. He doesn't need that many brains that often, right? And he gains some memories or some knowledge or some insight, right? But the thing is, you don't have access to all of it if you eat the brain. If you want access to all of it, you have to keep it in a carefully sealed, enchanted jar within X amount of feet of the throne or whatever that he sits on to access all these brains, right? It's sort of like, I remember the whole Professor X sitting on his wheelchair in the middle of that fucking closed room, in which magnified his powers outwards, so that he could act. This is what I kind of had this in my head. The mind flayer sits in that room, surrounded by jars of brains of intelligent people, or scholars, or sages, or whatever. Right? The ogre Magi's brain would go in there. Blake's brain would go in there. Right? And so these are the valued brains that, if you're sitting on the throne and you're surrounded by these brains, you have access to them as if they were a hard drive. You see what I'm saying?
Knowledge of brains. Does that sound what you wanted?
Yeah. Yep. And so he would prepare them specially, enchant them, put them in the thing, and they're all the jars or whatever it is that are sitting on, or however they were enchanted, is attuned to whatever he is sitting on, or maybe it's a circlet on his head, because who's going to lug a throne through the Underdark? Maybe it's a tied to a circlet. Oh, all right, circlet on his head, embedded with gems of some sort. There's your money thing. There's your your gain, right? So you have like 13 whatever rubies on your head, right? And on top of each of these jars is a matching ruby, matching the one in his circlet. And so the circlet connects to the rubies on top of, embedded in the jars where the brains are, right? And therefore that connection is how he gets the brain power back and forth, and he's accessing it all. So as long as he is within 15 feet of these brains, he can access all their knowledge. That's why he has to sort of center them all around him and stand there, and he can access all their knowledge. which means if he has a mage, he could maybe cast spells if the mage had any spells stored in his brain. So all Blake's, if you don't get the Blake in time, or he might have some other mages there that he could, he cast a fireball, a magic missile, or he could cast a. So we'll have to pick some random spells for this guy that he could actually cast. Does that sound? I'm just rambling here. Does that sound interesting though?
I don't know. Or we'll stick it to magic users because definitely not
clerics.
No.
Yeah. So if there's whatever spell is stored in the mage's brain, you can't rememorize it and store it in the brain. But the mage
they're like they're living scrolls.
Yes, like a living scroll, exactly. And so he could access the sleep spell from the mage that his brain is on the shelf there around him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so the true win on this is you kill the mind flayer, you get the circlet with 13 500 gold piece gems in it, right? And the thing is made of gold or whatever as it is, and then you have 13 500 gold piece gems on each of those things. There's your fucking treasure haul. We don't need too much of a treasure other than that.
500 gold gems.
There are a couple hundred gold. Yeah, worth several hundred gold. You know what I mean? Each of the gems, and so he has 12 jars already there, and Blake's will be the 13th.
Okay,
so that's what 6,500. So that comes out to a lot of fucking money. But you got to kill a fucking mind flayer.
Well, that's it. You got a mind flayer with a couple like living scrolls around them. I mean, that's the thing. This is the interesting thing about this adventure is it's going to have that. It's going to have that fuck you moment that you hate when I do it to you, but you like it at the same time.
Oh, I like it when it's done to someone else. I don't mind fucking someone else like that.
But because you're going to be dealing with Norkers and then Grimlocks, and you're going to be thinking, what the hell,
Yeah.
And then the next thing you're going to, this thing's going to come out of the dark and all, and they're going to, shit themselves immediately.
I think we looked it up last time, and OSC did not have mind flayers, right? We were just going to sort of riff on mind flayers from other things that we had.
Yeah, but
make them up.
I think somebody called them mind eaters or something. I thought we did find them in there. They were under different
mind lasher. Yes, mind lasher.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, mind lasher. Here we go. Evil, ultra intelligent, octopus-headed humanoids with slimy purple black skin and pupilless eyes. Blah blah blah. Mind lasher. Perfect.
What is their?
Interesting. They are hit dice 8.
Yeah.
Attack 1. Thacos decent. XP
4 tentacle attacks, so they can either do the willpower or the tentacle plus brain probe.
Yeah. Mind control. Mind blast.
300. And then what we can do is they have a treasure type of B, N, and O. So we can actually roll up some things and populate.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we do that, dude? I love rolling on treasure tables. Why don't we do that? All right. So
find a treasure table.
Do you have it? I'm looking at the what book would that be in? Be in here, right?
It's under the core one. You'd think they'd have it in the back of the monster one, but they don't.
I'm looking at.
I always forget where it's at.
Let's see. These are descriptions, combat tables.
Players get leftover spells from the brains, limited knowledge of secrets.
146. Yeah. This is on page 146.
Oh, that's right. You've got the
all in one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it too. I always grab the small ones.
Okay, so here we go. We got so this is kind of cool. So we have Mind Flayer, treasure type B, N, and O. All right, so B.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 50% of 1d8 times 1,000 copper. You want to roll these?
What are they?
50% chance for 1d8 times 1,000 copper.
Now, what I do with mine is I always reduce it by a 0.
100. Okay. All right. Cool.
Because I don't know. I always think there's way too much treasure.
Yeah.
That way. So 50%, 40.
All right. So
what is it then?
40, 1d8. So you did 4. So 400 copper.
No, I rolled a 40 to get it.
Oh.
So
all right. So you got it. So 1d8 times 100 I think it would be.
So I do 1d8. And then what I do is I roll the percentage too. So it gives it how many copper exactly.
Okay.
So 616.
Okay.
600. Although I don't know what a mind
Well,
flare.
it would have been 1,000 copper, Tim. You say you knock a 0 off, so you're talking maybe 66 copper then.
I thought it said 1,000.
1,000, yeah. So
I do it by hundreds.
Okay.
And I rolled a 6, so instead of 6,000, it's 616.
I got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 25% chance for some silver.
25%. What's it for gold?
25% for gold, silver, and electrum.
Okay.
I know you hate electrum, though, don't you?
No silver, 96.
No silver. All right, 25% for electrum.
There is no what I do with electrum is I replace it with like hard silver.
Okay.
So 19.
Oh, it's some hard silver. Okay.
Okay, hard silver.
That's valuable.
How much is that?
1d4 times 1,000. So 1d4 times 100.
Oh.
Right.
All right, so we got 410. That's pretty freaking good. Hard silver. Okay.
All right.
What's the next one?
And then we have the gold. Did you roll for that or?
What's the gold?
25% chance for some gold.
I got a 20.
All right, some gold.
Gold's pretty valuable in my
It
opinion.
is seriously valuable.
So what is
it's 1d3 times it would be 1,000, so 100. 1d3 times 100.
Okay. 278.
Nice. That's a lot of fucking money. Yeah, that's some serious money. Tim's World. 25% for 1d6 gems.
Well, let's say he's got the gems because he's got the gems.
Those are on his head. Yep.
Yeah, they got them all over. So he's got the gems. What's the next? Is it jewelry
next one?
Next?
Jewelry. I figured that's gems and a jewelry, same thing, right?
Let's just because we've already kind of given him a shit ton of that already. Yeah.
All right, 10% chance for either a magic sword, suit of armor, or weapon.
All right, 10%. Let's see. 96, 90.
Oh, shit, really? All right. So now we're on type N.
Okay.
All right, type N. JKN is, it is actually 40% chance for 2d4 potions.
21.
Oh, fuck. All right, 2d4 potions.
2d4 potions.
That's a treasure trove, dude.
This isn't too shabby either, is it? And Flint, I don't see why not. If they put on that, if they put on the crown, and they would be able to access the brains.
Yeah, it's not mind flare only, right?
Is there a chance the circular could brain control the player who puts it on?
In other words, it's like an intelligent artifact or an ego.
Yeah. Holy shit, Joe. 8. I rolled maximum for
8 potions. All right, we'll get those in a second. We'll figure that out. I'm sure there's a potion table. The last type is O. Treasure type O is scrolls. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
50% chance for 1d4 scrolls.
50% chance. 71.
All right, so no scrolls. No. So we have potions though.
Yeah, 8 of them. Fuck.
Yeah, shit, man. Magic item shields. Let's look at the potion table.
Use the advanced one so we have more to
that's what I got here. Where the fuck are the potions? Is there a separate potion table? Armor?
Mind flare specific. Like, will it work for mind flare but not? No, I don't think it has to, because I think it would just have to be a mental.
Yeah.
This allows him to preserve it. The thing is may have to maybe a roll to be able to control it, because he might actually damage the brains from. Yeah,
chance of insanity based on intelligence, right? Something like that.
Could be, that might work out. There'll have to be, of course, some drawback to it.
Oh God, yeah, it's too powerful not to be. Put in a note there, something about it is intelligence based or damage. You know what I'm saying? Where are all the goddamn potions in this thing?
I don't know. You have the.
I do. Oh, there they are. There's a potion table. All right. It's a whole separate section after miscellaneous. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I have a D100 table for potions, Tim.
All right. Here we go. First one is a 63.
63 gives you a potion of healing.
Oh, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Next one. 98.
98. Treasure finding.
Oh, I always love that one.
Yeah.
You know what I like about that one is I always like to mess with my potions sometimes,
Mhm.
of course. And one of this, because sometimes I like to have kind of cool side effects on stuff. And I had a treasure finding one. And what ended up happening is it was given, this was the beginning of one of my adventures, is they were given a potion of treasure finding so they could find that particular treasure. What the person didn't tell them though, or didn't know what was going to happen, is the side effect is because you drank this, it made you very, very hungry. So you had to eat like double the rations the
Nice.
entire time. And if you didn't, you started losing hit points.
Oh wow.
And because you just become
Like a potion of the monkeys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just a giant edible,
That's
little
good.
THC thing. 26.
All right, 26. 26 is delusion. Oh, that's pretty fun.
Okay, delusion. Now we have to roll again to see what they think it is. 96.
Okay, makes them think that is a potion of speed. Oh, that's fantastic. They think they're goddamn Flash running around there.
Yeah. You ever see that little meme with that little kid who thinks he's Flash and then he goes to take off and he falls down and starts crying right
Yep. That's perfect.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. Okay, 69.
69 is invisibility.
Ooh. These
are good potions. This is fun.
All
healing,
right.
treasure finding, delusion, or sorry, halfway there. 4 more.
67. I think that's another healing, isn't it?
67 is heroism.
Heroism. Man. Okay. And we got
good variety.
3 more. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5.
We can do math. 92.
92. A lot of high roll speed. An actual speed. That's even better because the guy who drinks the speed, the other guy says, "I got that too."
That's right.
Oh, that's perfect.
26.
20 who? 6?
26.
Delusion again. Oh yeah. All right.
We're gonna make him so paranoid.
Oh God, I love
it. 43.
Fire resistance. Oh God. I am immune to this fire.
That's right. I drink my fire resistance potion and I jump into the fire. Yeah. And then I think it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more is the last one is 11.
Hey, Flint has been here so long. Flint, give us a roll. Give us a D100, man.
Yeah, give us a D100.
Tell us what this is going to be.
Yep.
Pull out some dice. If you don't have dice in front of you, I don't know what kind of person you really are, but I'm sure you got dice in nearby, dude. If you're a potion of heroin there, are you there, Flint? Say a yay or a nay or something if you're there, man. Otherwise, we will just move along. Anyone? Bueller.
In a second, he probably has to find his.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So we got the gear, we got the items. Okay, Flint's there. All right, give us a D100, Flint. See what you get, man.
He said, "Yeah." That's not a roll, Flint.
Rolling. All right.
There he is.
This is the Flint potion. I have to note this as the Flint potion. The name on the potion, Flint Fireforge.
Okay.
All right.
One potion. I'm just going to put Flint.
Yes, Flint.
55,
Flint. You pulled up a giant strength. Perfect.
Ooh.
All right. No, I think we get to pick what giant it is, don't we?
I don't know. I thought it just went up to 18 or something like that. Or does it go higher? Or plus 4? Just does plus 4, doesn't it?
Oh, it's just the strength of a frost giant. That's all it is. Yeah. Okay.
Strength of frost giant.
If your attacks with weapons inflict double damage, you get to throw boulders that do 3d6 damage at a range of 200 feet. And that's good. That's good. All right, cool. Flint. All right. So Flint has made the list. Cool, dude. Good roll, Flint. Good roll, man. That was cool. Yeah. I like that it wasn't one to be duplicated, too.
No, I mean, they're all different. Even the delusion ones were different.
Yeah.
They're the same. They're different. That's funny because you can really what's kind of funny about that is like the last campaign where I had you guys running through, Ken was carrying a potion of delusion around the entire campaign. He never used it.
Seriously?
He didn't know it was a delusion, but he never ended up using it. So it never came into play, which I was like so waiting, I was waiting for that, my little ears would have perked up and said, I'm going to drink this potion. And I'm like, what? what? You're going to drink that potion? Yeah. Okay. I'd have been kind of surprisingly happy or something like that when that happened. And
Now,
Joe would have been going, wait a minute, he's happy. What happened? What just
this
happened?
can't be good. Duck.
Yeah,
Duck.
exactly. Whatever just happened, don't do it.
Don't do it again. Yeah. God. And
Yeah.
Flint, what do you, whoever else is there too? If Rob is still, I think Rob just passed out sleeping or something.
Well, I
But
think
Flint,
it's only Flint because it's just three of us, I think, on
yeah, that's it. So Flint, if you have any ideas, because it's not, because this guy's been capturing intelligent people, sages and mages, right? He's been looking for people with brains or knowledge, right? So maybe princes, merchant princes. He might be finding heads of guilds. He might be finding mages or sages.
Well, I wouldn't, because like where he's at
Mhm.
in the campaign thing, he's not going to get a lot of. That's why he went and captured. They wanted Blake.
Okay.
Because there's not a lot of that around here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's such an isolated area. So this mind flare is kind of starving for new things,
Okay.
you know. That's the way I kind of imagine it, because
Okay.
he could have got kicked out of his old place or banished from his old place, and now he's stuck in some podunk motherfucking town.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got nothing to eat. There's nothing to watch. There's nothing, you know. But yeah.
Generals, yeah, military people. I mean, it could be not even human brains. It could be like
absolutely.
You know, any kind of. But we have to maybe detail some brains. Little note, put a note in there. Detail the kind of brains that are in there. Maybe Blake isn't the 13th. Maybe the mind flayer just moved in. There's like 4 or 5 brains, right?
Right, could be.
So Blake,
he's got it set up.
Yeah, he just kind of got here. The ogre's still pissed, right? Or the ogre magi is still pissed. So the mind flayer's maybe got a few brains in the jars, and he's building up his repertoire of brains there. And then once he gets enough brains, he's going to go down below and then kick some ass. He's going to leave this shithole.
And here's the interesting thing that we could play off of too, since we sort of have like these two kind of fairly intelligent, fairly you know, powerful creatures. They're fighting off each other. We could definitely make a play. You know, we could set it up somehow, or at least let it be known, or something like that. That if they won't know about it, but anyways, the mind flayer could try to make a deal with the party.
Yep.
To get the
ogre
magi's brain. You know, bring him here so I could have him. And of course, the ogre magi would rather have the mind flare than so he can reclaim stuff.
Exactly.
So we could definitely have this dynamic with that playing.
So what does the ogre magi have to offer? We know what the mind flayer has to offer, Blake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all right. So the mind flayer is like, all right, you don't want to fight me with my badassery, and I'll make you a deal. You give me the ogre magi, I give you back Blake. What does the ogre magi have? We might have to go back to his little detail area there.
Yeah, we'll have to roll his treasure up too.
Yeah,
you know, down. We'll start at 10, so probably.
Yeah. Or just figure out what he might have to bargain with. Maybe something important, something special. I don't know what.
Yeah,
you know, an artifact of Puce, maybe. If there's a cleric,
or maybe just you know, some sort of alliance.
Yeah,
that, you know, you come back around this area, then you'll, you know, because how many times, like especially in this area, that there's sort of alliances with people that you wouldn't normally ally with, because it's almost out of necessity.
Yes.
And so maybe it's some sort of alliance, or
pledge.
Some sort of pledge that like they won't, you know, they won't like he pledges that he'll bring the Norkers and the Grimlocks, put them in order, and make sure they don't attack Hound's Head any longer.
Yeah. Pledge of neutrality and non-hostility, basically, toward Hound's Head. Yeah. And he will evacuate the Temple of Puce and give it back to the players. And maybe there's a Puce artifact in there for a cleric of Puce in the group. One of the NPC cards could be a cleric of Puce.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, they're pre-gen PCs, something like that.
See, what do you say? Better phrase. Did the Mind Flayer have bigger plans for capturing those brains, or was he collecting them for food only?
I think it was the access of like the hard drive level of it. You know what I mean? His knowledge now.
Right, because let's take a look at. So he's got his brain probe, and that's when a tentacle hits. It latches onto the victim, who's unable to escape After 1d4 rounds, the tentacle works its way into the victim's brain and rips it out of the skull, killing the victim.
Yeah.
The lasher instantly consumes the brain. So that's its source of nutrition, but we could also, he can do, let's see, mental powers. He can mind control. He has mind blast and mind thrust.
Yeah.
And then he has a mental defense, levitation, ESP, and magical resistance. So maybe we'll have to look in there and see if we can just kind of see what we can work with in that. But I think there's definitely a variation of the brain probe where, he'll eat maybe the dumb ones for nutrition.
Yes.
But that's what he probably does with the Norkers and the
Grimlocks.
Grimlocks, he's
that's the reason he ends up sending Grimlocks against the Norkers. If you don't get me one of them to eat, motherfucker, I'm going to eat one of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Go attack.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Bring me brains.
Bring me brains. I'm hungry. I need breakfast. Right.
Yeah.
But he keeps the better brains, the high quality brains, in a jar. Right. Because he accesses their knowledge. And then eventually, with the knowledge, if he fills up 13 jars, he will leave and go back to the Underdark with all that knowledge and ability he gained from them will enable him to be a badass mind flayer below. Right.
Absolutely. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, I like it. All right, cool. We did good. I think we did damn good, dude.
Yeah, we got
the good outline. I'll write the 30,000 words to fill in the gaps.
You're gonna do at least that many. I'll be disappointed if it's a word short.
Yeah. So we'll fill in the gaps here over time now, and the free one will be up for free, and then maybe we'll get a paid Kickstarter setup thing or something later once we get the full blown. My vision, my vision of bringing your goddamn world to life that I've enjoyed so much. I'm going to do a deep dive into all of the shit you have on your Patreon. It's been 4 years since I did that big download. I got to update the download and sort through everything, Oh
God. Yeah. Has it been that long already?
Yeah. It's been like June of, I don't even know. Let me see what I wrote it down here. Let's see, the desktop. It was nice. It took me a while. It took me like a whole goddamn day, I think, to do that.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I have it through 6/28/19, so almost 4.5 years. I have.
God,
but I sorted it. Yeah, I know. I sorted by manner, by the manners, by micro ventures, by micro locations, by micro miscellaneous, micro sandbox setting, NPCs, and special. So those are the categories I sorted everything under. And then, I did MA1, MA whatever, MA through MA 82, and then each one has a subfolder with stuff in it. And what I did for each of the MAs, like the name of it was Terrible Thing Happened to Amos, and I wrote Komor Cavern, so a cavern in a Komor Forest. And then Cold Forge, I wrote Dash Micro Mega Dungeon. Try to Right of Knolls Ruins. That way I know by looking at it.
They didn't have tags back in the early days.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tag, like nowadays I'll put like Komor Forest, like Cavern slash and or Dungeon, maybe Forest Adventure, so
yeah.
And then I'll put the monster in there because usually the micro adventures kind of feature a certain monster, whether it's undead or skeletons, or I'll get specific with it. So that way, if you're looking for something, it's definitely easier to find. But I think I'd have to go through all my old ones and do that to them. And I've got, I don't know how many entries I have now, probably close to not 200, but pretty damn close to it, I think.
Well, you have a whole picture of, I'm just diving through here. I found something about Grimlocks, dude.
Yeah.
Under Adventure Time, Grimlocks. A nice picture there. I like it. You've used it before for something. I don't know what, but you must have used it on something called Adventure Time. You have a good Grimlock picture, man.
Adventure Time?
Yeah, let me show you.
Yeah. The one, it's the Timekeeper. Yeah, Jim Magnuson did that one for me. It's actually, I used it for, I believe, go ahead and share it, but I believe, just all of a sudden we jumped up to 5 people.
Wow.
Yeah. There's the Grimlock picture.
Great picture. We could reuse the hell out of that, dude. It's this thing, whatever the hell it is. I don't know why your Grimlocks are on it, but that's what.
Because I use different pictures that was sort of like the cover of it. But basically, this was a laminated card.
Mm.
Go ahead and scroll up, and that way you could take the days of travel time. So the torch in turns, lantern in turns. So that's why it's called Adventure Time. So you can just check it off to keep track of things and whatnot. I used them a few times, but never.
Why is it dirty? That's not my screen. That's just dirty. Why is it dirty?
No, it's just the textured background I used at the time. And that, so
you probably had it on a tan card with some of the dark in it, but on black and white.
No, I think I just had it on white cardstock. Yeah, I just kept it black and white. I don't remember having it. And that, but I gave those ones away for free. I just made them up, and then if you join my Patreon, the first one I sent out to you, I threw it in there for free.
Oh, here we have miners. I see. So each of the different ones has a different picture. That's all it is. That's so the Adventure Time is God Rising, Grimlocks, or Miners. Each one has a different backing. That's the difference.
Yeah. Okay. The front, the back, or the back's all the same, but the front's different. Just because. Yeah. And plus, his artwork is so good too. I wanted to use it for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right, we kicked ass, I think, dude.
Yeah, we did good, I think.
Yeah, we did good. We have the entire outline, the whole skeleton of the whole thing, right? So now it's just a matter of filling in the blanks. So I'll start filling in all the blanks, get writing on it. I'll probably be reaching out to you for, hey, give me whatever you have on Sarath or whoever the fuck, or you know what I mean? Or if you have any notes on the Warg, stuff like that, right?
Why do you need notes on the Warg? He's got nothing to do with it. No,
because
you don't need notes on the Warg.
That's for the greater. We're just two levels here. One is the little ghetto adventure, and the other one is the expansive.
Listen to you call it a ghetto adventure. Well, now it's got like 4 locations.
Yeah. But that's
adventure.
It's got to have a setting here.
It's like we've got a cast of Cleopatra would be jealous of.
Yeah. This is good shit. That's good shit. Thanks, Flint. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
man.
thank you, Flint.
Thanks for hanging in there.
Helping us and being the lone survivor.
Yeah. Me, you, and a couple other people joined, but
I see that. Yeah, a couple of people joined it together. That's what they just came in to see us go away.
Yeah, basically. They're finally done. We could get to more important and interesting shit next week, maybe. Jesus Christ, they're probably thinking, right? So,
I thought the stuff we did today was good with getting the outline kind of done, because that's not normally something how I do it, so it's kind of different for me too.
I generally start like spitballing and just keep thinking, writing, taking notes, and then I just wrap it all together. We were sort of thinking in smaller chunks and then wrapping it up, and then thinking in another small chunk and wrapping it up. That's been. But if you notice though, like with the dungeon, as especially with the Mind Flayer one, that's my approach to things in terms of verisimilitude. It must make sense, right? Like everything about it was like, what is this place and why? And it's based on the map, the location on the map as relating to other parts of the map. Certain things have to be in certain places. I can't do a Funhouse Dungeon style thing.
Well, when have I ever done a Funhouse style?
No, you don't either.
No, but what I usually do is I'll write it all out. I don't worry about where the pieces are at first. I kind of just I just learned this word today. Pantser. I'm not a plotter. I'm a pantser.
Pantser, huh?
Yeah, that means you don't plot. You just kind of write as you go. I hadn't heard the term before until today, and Ivy said it had been around for a long time. I was like, I never heard of it before.
Never heard of it either. I can't even find it anywhere.
Yeah,
like looking up Pantser.
Yeah.
Noun, edit. I don't even know what the hell it is.
It's
Panscer. Is that how you say it?
I don't know. I just learned it. I think it's.
Can't find it.
Pantser. Pantser.
Oh, Okay, Pantser.
It's who drafts stories by the seat of their pants without using outlines. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have elements. I don't have outlines.
You're more of a plotter.
I have elements that I want, and things have to make sense, and the elements eventually coalesce into a story. You know what I mean? And by not a story, I don't mean a story railroad adventure. I mean the story of what's going on in this place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so we have this, we have this, we have that. Why are they all together?
Right.
It must be because this and that and the other thing then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have the elements, now you craft a story out of the elements. It's like emergent storytelling in a way, right? Emergent story develops, right?
Right.
So if you get cool elements and cool things in your sandbox, and then you throw them all together and say, why are these things here together, and how are they arranged, and what way does it make sense for them to be in this certain situation? That's kind of how I hit it. You know,
and then like intertwining like some different things, like adding the little treasure map for a different thing. Having the interaction between the ogre magi and the mind flayer, just seeing how it goes. What did he say? Joe will make this a setting when it's all said and done.
Dude, it's already a setting. I'm trying to get it out there. It's already been played in and fucked around with and destroyed and burnt. And I mean, it's there.
It's well tread, huh?
It's well tread, and yeah. It's already there. That's why I like the whole idea of like we'll get this adventure out. You know, we'll have a subset of the grand master thing that we want to write. Right. And then one of it will be the adventure that we just did. That could be standalone, 8-10 pages, whatever. Right. And then the other one.
You think this adventure is going to be 8-10 pages?
The ghetto version.
You get done?
The ghetto version. You know. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
See, I look at 8 pages. I still think in terms of the guy.
I'm just wondering how big these fucking pages are.
Well, what's the thing?
Are they poster size pages or what?
How big is the font? I mean, you know, we're not doing digest. Are we gonna do the stupid ass digest? Or are we gonna do a real size page?
What do you mean stupid ass?
I like
digest is the
modules.
best.
I like modules, like old school module size pages with bigger font.
So we can read it. I was going to say, go ahead and try to pull out one of those big ass modules and read it now, Joe.
It's the glasses, and you know
that was the one thing I could. I know this is an aside, but like those old modules, you know, everybody says, well, they're only 12 pages long. Yeah, but there are 12 regular pages long.
Yeah,
they had like 0.5 space between each sentence, and they used like an 8 font or 6 font if we were lucky or something like that. Oh my god!
You know,
they had like 50,000 words in that.
I kind of wonder now if I could pull up like if there's an adventure, I don't know, let's say the Moat House or something like that, and if it's OCR'd, you have a word count in there. You know what I'm saying? I wonder. Now I'm kind of like freaking curious.
How many?
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. I might have come across a couple modules on my computer.
You may have
someday. They just appeared there. I don't know how the hell they got there. But here we go. Dungeons and Dragons first edition modules. What the hell was the Moat House? What number was that? Do you know?
T1.
T1.
Village of Hamlet.
And these are sorted by the letters. T1. Village of Hamlet. Green. All right. Hopefully it's like OCR and.
Or it can be that purplish color that has the scary Death Knight looking thing on it on the cover.
Oh, this is not OCR, unfortunately. Let me try to find one that actually is. Saltmarsh OCR.
Ooh, Saltmarsh. There's a good one.
This looks OCR. Yeah, this looks like it's OCR. Okay, so let's see. Saltmarsh. If I did how do you do what's the word count in a PDF, dude? Do you know?
I have no idea, dude. I don't know what I don't know what an OCR is.
It's like when it's not just an image, but you could actually see the words on a page. You know what I mean? That you could copy.
So the individual. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a word, proper reference, but that's kind of what I call it. You know.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. You're out of my realm. I don't know how to do that.
So find in text or tools. So what if I just say the word the? All right. So there are 2,200 words in Saltmarsh. 2,200 times the word the appears, right?
So you have to do per word.
I mean, if you think about that, I mean, that gives you an idea.
200, yeah.
Thousands. If the word the appears 2,200 times, this thing is a ridiculous amount of words on it. You know?
Recognition.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Gotcha.
That's what it is. I wonder, you know what I could do is the average. I could copy. You know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. I'll copy the words on an average page with a small piece of art, and I'll paste it into Word, right? And if I paste it into Word, that's an average word count per page, all right? Because I could read how many words are in Word, right?
Right.
So, all right. So an average page is 1,000 words. All right, 965. That's with one small quarter-page piece of art, right? So 1,000 words. Okay, so on a 32-page module, we're looking at 32,000 words, 30,000 words. So some of them are art. All right, I'll give you that. So let's say 25,000 words. So in Salt Marsh as was a 25,000 word module. I am going to beat that.
I'm gonna beat that.
God damn it! I have house rules that are fucking bigger than that.
Yeah, yes, you do. No doubt. No doubt.
All right. That was my Rob dive into math for the evening, boys and girls. I think that just wasted my brain. So I think that's pretty much all I got left.
I hear you. Well, we got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. God damn it. Yep, damn it. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. And this thing will be out. It will be ready for publication. What, 2-3 days? We good to go, Tim? You think?
Probably later tonight, I think.
Yeah. We'll have it out for you now.
Yeah, no problem.
You will have it. Trust me, you'll have it. It will not languish, and it will be good. And if I have my way, you'll have a lot of Tim's setting stuff in there, so you guys get the flavor in case you want to play this where it came from, or you could play it as a separate standalone. Right? There'll be 2. Sound good?
What's
like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't even. I stopped listening to you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.